Yo, so what is up everybody on YouTube? We are back today with a brand new video, and for today's video, we are coming at you with a new career resimulation, and this time of the man himself with 11 rings. That would be Bill Russell, who got 11 rings in his 13-year career in the NBA. So we're going to see just how his career would actually pan out in the current NBA. So let's see just how many rings our guy can get in this sim. Of course, as always, we did throw him into the 2020 NBA draft class, so he's going to get drafted right here. But before we hop into that and see where exactly he goes, be sure to smash that like button if you are new. Definitely subscribe. Leave a comment who you guys want us to do next. Definitely going to be doing some more of the draft prospects coming up for all these guys in the actual NBA draft as well. But here we go, hopping into the draft. The number 1 pick is owned by the Denver Nuggets, and surprisingly, they go with Obi instead. So, surprise to me, but I would be very, very surprised if we fall past 2 here. And Bill Russell actually ends up going number 2 overall to the New York Knicks. Definitely should be a little interesting, as the Knicks are in a pretty rough spot in real life, and one of their few small signs of hope is Mitchell Robinson. Of course, they have RJ Barrett as well, but to go in at the same position should be interesting. So they're going to end up having Mitchell Robinson coming off the bench as the 6th man for this team. So let's see how it works out. In year 1 here, we got a Ben Simmons MVP and a LaMelo Ball Rookie of the Year, actually snubbing our guy Bill Russell for Rookie of the Year. And in year 1, we do not end up making the playoffs, unfortunately, with only 32 wins in the regular season. Let's take a look at Bill Russell's stats on the year real quick. So Bill Russell, 12.5 points per game, 15.3 rebounds per game, and 3 blocks per game. Obviously fantastic on that end, but the scoring could come up just a bit for sure. And if you didn't notice, he actually did get Defensive Player of the Year in his first year as well. Also in year 1 here, we got that Ben Simmons MVP season, bringing the Sixers to the championship here up against the Dallas Mavericks, and of course Luka Doncic and the Unicorn himself. So let's see how this one plays out. Will Luka and the boys get themselves a chip, or will Ben bring one home to Philly? And the Sixers do end up getting it with a Ben Simmons Finals MVP right there. Year 2, let's see what this squad is looking like in year 2. Hopefully we sign maybe a free agent or 2, because we're always hoping to see that in New York with the Knicks, man. Every year it seems like they're in the running to get one. And we got a pretty good one. We got Brandon Ingram here at an 89 overall to play that small forward position. And apparently we also got Steven Adams. Not really sure why we need him, but hey, I'll take the Brandon Ingram one. That's definitely a very good player to help this team out. And as you can kind of see the transaction report of what we changed and all that, looking at the rotations here, so pretty decent. And we did draft Jalen Green with that high overall pick as well. So the team could come together very, very well. In year 2 here, as you can see, we got Bill Russell getting Defensive Player of the Year and Luka Doncic getting regular season MVP. And thankfully, with those additions, it did help us skyrocket into a playoff spot, being the 4th seed. And Brandon Ingram even leading the team in scoring this year. Bill Russell still not doing too much scoring, 11.9 points per game, but getting it done everywhere on the boards and defensively, 12.8 boards per game. Looking at the rotations going into playoffs here, I really do like this team to maybe make a run, maybe even make it to the Eastern Conference Finals here in year 2. Let's see what it's all about. Our first round matchup is up against not an easy squad at all, the Brooklyn Nets with KD and Kyrie, and unfortunately we do get bounced. Brandon Ingram having an absolutely great game there, but just not enough to get it done. We do get bounced in the first round, but it is what it is. We'll just see who wins it all this year, and then head right into year 3 and see how Bill Russell's career is going to keep playing out. So in year 2 here, a New York team did make it to the finals, but unfortunately it was not us. It was the Brooklyn Nets who did bounce us in the first round, up against Luka Doncic, who was this year's MVP and did lose last year in the finals. So I thought that maybe that would give them a little bit of spark to win this year, but they get 4-0 swept by Brooklyn, with KD getting Finals MVP. Moving us into year 3 of the sim, let's see what this New York Knicks team is looking like in year 3. Hopefully we're looking solid still. A 95 overall Bill Russell now, a 90 overall Brandon Ingram, and we even added an 88 overall Jaren Jackson Jr. to go along with that. Year 3 here, we got our boy Luka getting yet another MVP season. And Bill Russell getting another Defensive Player of the Year. Chet gets Rookie of the Year. Yet again, rocking out with that 4th seed. We will take it. Not too bad. Jalen Green leading the team in scoring. And Bill Russell yet again 12.8 points per game. 13.1 boards per game. And showing out with blocks, of course, with 2.1 blocks per game as well. Now at a 97 overall. Looking at the playoff picture here, we got a first-round matchup up against a tough Sixers team that did just win a championship about 2 seasons ago. So keep that in mind. They're up 3-2 on us, and unfortunately, they do rout us in 6 right here. You hate to see it, honestly. Jalen Green popping off scoring-wise. Bill Russell putting up 8, 12, and 6 blocks as well, doing his thing defensively. A whole lot, but we just could not get it done. Moving on to the finals here, Milwaukee Bucks up against the Phoenix Suns. Kind of crazy to see the Phoenix Suns go full 360 here and make it to the finals so early in the sim, but low-key, you love to see it. Bucks end up sweeping them 4-0 though. Giannis getting a finals MVP. Tough scene. Moving us on to year 4 of the sim here. Squad looking yet again very similar to what it was before. Still very, very solid. And hopefully we can honestly make a lot deeper of a run this year because we've had some kind of sus playoff luck throughout the beginning of this sim. So let's check it out. Luka Doncic goes ahead and gets a regular season MVP, and of course Bill Russell gets yet another Defensive Player of the Year right there, as we finish the number 2 seed, actually jumping up pretty much a lot from the previous seasons, getting 61 wins. Bill Russell starting to improve that scoring little by little, also getting it done on the defensive end, of course, as the Defensive Player of the Year, and being an absolute rebounding machine for our squad. You see the team's looking very, very good. The only sus kind of position that we have is point guard, where we have Kyle Guy starting, but hopefully it will be enough to kind of move us on past the first round for what feels like the first time in this sim. First round matchup here up against James Wiseman and a tough Pacers team with D'Angelo Russell, but thankfully we do get out of the first round with a clean sweep over that Pacers team 4-0, and it looks like we're going to have a second round matchup here up against the Pistons. D'Angelo Russell dropped 51 points and still could not get it done in that game. Thankfully, we did clutch it out. So moving on to round 2 here, we got a matchup up against this Pistons team, and let's check out what their squad is exactly looking like. LaMelo Ball, James Harden, Kelly Oubre, Clint Capella, Zaire Williams. That is a tough team to face, and they bring it to 7 with us, but thankfully we do clutch it out. Jalen Green dropping 24 there, and honestly, just solid play all around. Not too much scoring there from Bill Russell, obviously. 11 points, 16 rebounds, and doing his thing defensively as well. Moving us on to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in the sim, up against a team that now has Luka Doncic. They have Luka Doncic and Jonathan Isaac and Jaylen Brown, but we somehow get it done. You love to see that. Moving us on to our first NBA championship of this sim. Can we start getting Bill Russell some of these chips that he desperately needs for the sake of this sim? So in the championship here, it looks like we're going to be running into the Golden State Warriors. And let's see what this Golden State Warriors squad is looking like, because honestly, I have no clue how good they really are this year. So they have Caleb Love, Klay Thompson. This is a kind of a weird team to make it to the finals at this point. And I think that, honestly, we are going to catch a dub here with how that team is looking like. We get up 2-1, 3-1. And, of course, we're going to hop into Simcast and see how this one plays out. With seconds left, you see we have a 9-point lead, and we are just dribbling out the ball. Jalen Green just throws up something. And we end up getting Bill Russell his first NBA championship of the sim in, I believe, year 4 here, which is a huge dub for the New York Knicks, bringing a championship home to the Knicks once and for all. There we go, baby. Let's see if Bill Russell ends up actually getting finals MVP of this year 4 championship as well. I'm definitely interested to take a look at that and the stats. So let's look at these stats against this Warriors team here and see just how it all actually played out. So a huge game from Brandon Ingram and Kyle Guy actually doing his thing for sure for us there, which kind of surprised me. A little bit lackluster there from Bill Russell, but let's see who actually ends up getting finals MVP for us. If I had to guess, maybe Brandon Ingram, but let's see. Bill Russell actually gets his first finals MVP there. Let's go. Moving into year 5 of the sim in year 2024. forward. Let's see if we can go back-to-back for Bill Russell and get him now 2 NBA championships in this sim. So here in year 5, Cade Cunningham ended up getting regular season MVP with the Thunder, and of course Bill Russell got yet another Defensive Player of the Year award. And let's go ahead and look at these stats for our squad. You can see Jalen Green leading the team in scoring, followed by Jaren Jackson. And honestly, a very good season there from Bill Russell, even scoring-wise, putting up just about 16 points per game. So let's see what our first round matchup in the playoffs is looking like, because I'm really liking what I'm seeing out of the team this year, and maybe even the potential to go back-to-back. So our first round matchup here is up against the Toronto Raptors. They have Tobias Harris, and I really don't think it's that strong of a team, despite them taking us to 7 here, which was a very big surprise for me. I was not really thinking that, and it was back and forth, honestly, a good portion of the game until we kind of started blowing them out a little bit. Winning by 6 there at the end, not an absolute blowout, but we started pulling away is more or less what I meant to say. Bill Russell doing his thing, definitely some solid numbers there to help us move on to the second round here up against the Cleveland Cavaliers, who do have our former player RJ Barrett, who did team up with his college teammate Zion, and unfortunately Zion and RJ did too much and absolutely knocked us out in the second round. They do make it to the finals here up against this OKC Thunder team that's very good as well. Definitely interesting if we will ever see Zion and RJ back on the same team ever again, just like Duke. But let's see how this finals right here plays out. Looks like it's really back and forth, and honestly RJ and Zion end up taking it, and RJ actually gets finals MVP over Zion as well. So here in year 6, I went to go see what the squad's actually looking like, and it turns out that Bill Russell actually left in free agency and did not re-sign with the Knicks despite getting a championship here, which kind of surprised me. But let's see where Bill Russell ended up, and he's with the New Orleans Pelicans. Let's see what that squad's looking like at this point. So let's see, Bill Russell, DeAndre Hunter, Mikey Williams, a young Mikey Williams. That could be an interesting duo to watch right there. Bill Russell, now 25 years old, and a 21-year-old Mikey Williams pairing up early in their career. So let's see how this one turns out in year 6. Luka Doncic ends up getting a regular season MVP here with the Boston Celtics. Definitely an interesting fit there. Defensive Player of the Year yet again goes to Bill. New team, same award. And we actually topped the Western Conference by a solid amount of wins, putting up 60 wins on the season here. You love to see it. So let's see just how these playoffs actually end up turning out. And another fun fact to add in, as you can see, our former team, the Knicks, without us, did not even make the playoffs this year, which is kind of crazy. Huge year from the guys. Whoa, we have James Wiseman now. So James Wiseman signed here on a little 1-year deal. Not sure why that happened. In The Sims, sometimes if they don't sign anywhere, they just sign on a 1-year deal somewhere really cheap. And I guess he wanted to play with us, which is a little sus, obviously, but it is what it is. So we're going to see how this team plays in the first round here. Hopefully we can get some dubs. So in the first round here, we find ourselves up against the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are the 8th seed, and we are the number 1 seed. So let's see how this one plays out. As you know, our squad is looking very solid. And what we didn't know is Bill Russell's actually playing the 4 right now, so James Wiseman can play the 5. We're up against Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Karl Anthony Towns with a pretty good Timberwolves squad here, but thankfully we do knock them out. Huge scoring game there from Mikey Williams, and honestly a lot of scoring there for Bill Russell as well to drop a 20-piece. Moving on to the second round here, up against the Los Angeles Clippers, we have Anthony Edwards, Jason Tatum, Brandon Clark. That's a very, very good team there, and we end up beating them as well, 4-2 in 6. Jason Tatum and Anthony Edwards both absolutely having great games there, but we had some great games ourselves right there with a 40-point, 15-rebound performance from James Wiseman, and another 20 rebounds from Bill Russell himself. Moving us on to the Western Conference Finals up against the OKC Thunder, who were in the playoffs finals just about a year or two ago. We knocked them out on a clean sweep, 4-0, and we're meeting up against RJ Barrett and Zion Williamson yet again. And let's see if it changes this time, and this time we do change it. It is not what happened last time. A 4-0 sweep with Bill Russell getting his second championship and his second finals MVP of this sim, moving us into year 7. So in year 7 here, our guy Mikey Williams is now up to an 89 overall, and we also have Jackson Williams at an 89 overall as well. Definitely going to help out this team a lot when you look at it, which surprisingly enough has moved Bill Russell down to that power forward position and has Jackson Hayes starting at center for the squad. So also in year 7 here, Luka Doncic gets yet another MVP season here, averaging 34.3 points per game with the Celtics. And Bill Russell gets yet again another Defensive Player of the Year, helping lead us to the #1 seed right here with the Pelicans. Of course, Mikey Williams leading the team in scoring, and honestly, Bill Russell getting it done all around this year, doing very good offensively as well as defensively and on the boards. So I think this team has a very good shot here coming up with these playoffs. We have a first round matchup here up against the 8th seed Warriors right here. Not too great of a team, and they actually get 2 wins on us, which is more than I honestly expected, but we still take it at the end of the day. We did play against Brandon Ingram, obviously one of our former teammates as well, but he couldn't get it done. Moving us on to the second round here up against the Minnesota Timberwolves and Karl Anthony Towns. And if I had to guess here, I do think that we should take this one because the Cat and the Timberwolves are not that bad of a team, but surprisingly they just beat us 4-1. But I was not expecting it to go that way, honestly, at all. Karl Anthony Towns kind of popped off. Despite a very good game there from Bill Russell, we do get routed. So looking at the finals here, you got the Chicago Bulls up against the Kings with Lonzo Ball. And I guess a pretty solid team. Not really the teams I would have expected to have seen in the playoffs this year, in the finals this year, but it is what it is. The Kings win with Zion getting finals MVP. Moving us into year 8, 2027 in the sim. And at this point in the sim, Bill Russell is already a 7-time All-Star and has won 2 NBA championships with 2 finals MVPs to go along with that. So let's just see what happens in year 8. And as you can see, our teammate Mikey Williams right there getting a regular season MVP. And we actually do not get Defensive Player of the Year here in year 8, which is a little bit of a surprise. But we still make the #1 seed, and that's what really matters. To look at the player stats, of course, fantastic seasons from both Mikey Williams and Bill Russell, really getting it done how we need here. And we have Denny Avdija as well, which is definitely a huge W for the squad. Our first round matchup here is up against an 8th seeded Lakers team with Ja Morant at point guard. But surprisingly, we beat this team 4-0. This is one of the teams I thought would have maybe given us a little bit more of trouble. But hey, it is what it is. I'll take it. Moving us on to the second round here up against a very good Clippers team. And we also beat them 4-1. You love to see it. Shutting down Anthony Edwards and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Moving on to the Western Conference Finals here. Our Pelicans have made it to the Western Conference Finals up against the Utah Jazz, who are led by a pretty solid team. Nothing too crazy, honestly, to make it to the Western Conference Finals. And I feel like every time I say that, it comes back to bite me. And we get routed in 7, man. It was a tied series 3-3, and they took Game 7 from us, which was definitely tough. I did not think that team was all that good. But here they are in the finals up against the Raptors, where they end up ultimately losing 4-2. Bam Adebayo getting a finals MVP in year 8. Moving us into year 9, and now 98 overall Bill Russell. Obviously doing it all, still getting it done. Jackson Hayes on the squad still. As you can see, Mikey Williams is no longer with us, so that is a big hit this year. So let's see just how far we can actually go without Mikey Williams at our point guard position. You see Amani Bates gets a huge MVP season there, averaging 40.9 points per game. And we actually still do not get Defensive Player of the Year back-to-back here. Ending up as the #2 seed in the West, so not too bad, but obviously a slight regression. And apparently we added Jaren Jackson Jr., who ended up being our #1 scorer. And #2, big improvements there for Bill Russell, averaging 18.5 points per game on the season. You'd love to see him starting to get that offensive game really going. First round matchup here up against this Maverick squad. And it comes to Game 7, honestly, to my surprise. But let's see how this one actually ends up playing out. Of course, we'll hop into Simcast and see just how this one really goes. Hopefully we do route them. And as you can see, we have a pretty good lead here with only seconds left. 121-109. We will be taking that game and getting the dubski. So we will be moving on to the second round, thankfully, up against the Memphis Grizzlies. And they have a very good team here with Cade Cunningham, of course. Going to 7 yet again, so we're going to hop into Simcast, and hopefully luck can be with us yet again here. Let's see how this one pans out. And it's not looking great so far, as they have a pretty solid lead on us, but we start having a little comeback season, and let's see what happens. We have a slight edge going into the fourth here, and 120-118, we end up beating them by just 2 points, but of course, we will take that as a dub is a dub, and helps us move to the Western Conference Finals yet again, but here in 2029 up against the Los Angeles Clippers, who do have Anthony Edwards, and our former teammate Mikey Williams, the traitor, has went to the Clippers. So let's see if we can prove him wrong or if he left for good reason. It is a very back and forth series as they are up one game on us here, 3-2. And hopefully we can steal this next game and push it to 7. But unfortunately, it does not go that way. We take the L, and Anthony Edwards and Mikey Williams move on to the championship here up against the Bulls. They have a very good shot at winning the championship this year, so let's see how this one actually ends up turning out. Back and forth series yet again, and the Clippers do end up getting that with Anthony Edwards getting Finals MVP, moving us into year 10. The year is now 2029, and Bill Russell has decided his time with the Pelicans is over, so let's see where Bill has landed. He goes to the Bulls, who were just in the finals last year, so probably a pretty solid team at least. Let's check out the squad real quick, see what we're working with. So we got Bill Russell, Rui Hachimura, Mo Wagner, really not that great of a team. Honestly, don't know how they made it to the chip last year. Luka Doncic getting an MVP season right here in year 10 with the Celtics yet again. And Bill Russell getting Defensive Player of the Year. Back to that. Pretty poor season, honestly, only racking up about 31 wins. So we're going to be watching from the sidelines as it's looking like the Clippers are about to go back-to-back with Mikey Williams and Anthony Edwards. Definitely kind of hurts the heart a little bit considering he was our teammate and left us. But it is what it is. Another championship for the Clippers, moving us into year 11 here. 99 overall, Bill Russell. Not too much help, honestly. So if Bill Russell ends up making the playoffs this year, it's going to be an absolute carry on his behalf because the team around him is not that good. So let's see just how this one ends up playing out. Luka Doncic gets yet another MVP here. And it's just crazy how many MVPs he's honestly gotten in this sim. No Defensive Player of the Year for Bill Russell as Big O actually ends up getting it. And as you can see, we missed the playoffs yet again here with 32 wins with the Chicago Bulls team. 24.4 points per game. Definitely picking it up scoring-wise a lot, Bill Russell has, but just not enough to get it done. Looking at the playoffs here from the sidelines, Trailblazers in the finals up against Luka Doncic and the Boston Celtics. And looks like Luka Doncic is getting not only the regular season MVP, but the finals MVP of year 11 there, helping us move right into year 12. Year 12, yet again, not too much help here for Bill Russell on this team. Lots of accolades already for him at a 99 overall, so let's just keep it moving. Cade Cunningham gets regular season MVP. Kind of refreshing to see someone not named Luka Doncic get it. And yet again, another rough season for us with this Bulls team. Just not able to get it done with this squad, man. When Bill Russell's a 99 and our next best is only about an 89. And beyond that, it's a bunch of role players. It's really not working out. Bill Russell obviously doing whatever he can scoring-wise. Getting over 20 points a season is very good, honestly, at this point for him. So, because he's getting it done extremely well on the boards and on the defensive end of the floor. Clippers back in the finals here up against the Miami Heat, where it's going to go to 7 with the Clippers ending up taking it yet again. And Mikey Williams getting a finals MVP in year 12. Moving us on to year 13 of the sim. And as you can see, you see Devin Booker's on the team, but Bill Russell is no longer with the squad. And he has signed with the Celtics. So it would be interesting if Luka's still there and he ends up teaming up with Luka in Boston, and he is. So 299 overalls, and then some decent players around them. You know, obviously in real life, Bill Russell did run with the Celtics. So let's see just how it turns out with him and Luka together on the modern day Celtics here. Let's see how this one turns out. And our teammate here with the Celtics, Luka Doncic, ends up getting an MVP season. But we do not get Defensive Player of the Year this year as James Wiseman gets it. But we did help the Celtics get led into the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference here, blowing out the 2nd seed by a decent amount. Luka Doncic, fantastic season. Bill Russell able to bring that scoring down a little bit and focus more on the boards and defensive end of the game, as he does have Luka Doncic that kind of go crazy offensively for him. First round matchup here up against the Indiana Pacers, who have Lonzo Ball, and honestly an okay team, nothing crazy. They have Bol as well at that starting center position, and they're bringing it a little bit more fight than I thought, bringing the series to 4-2 overall before we took the dub over them. You love to see it. Bol doing his thing, but just could not get it done. Moving on to the second round here, in a matchup up against the Charlotte Hornets here, who have Kristaps Porzingis still actually running their center position, and they bounce us 4-2 to my surprise. Yet again, we're watching the finals from the sidelines. Toronto Raptors versus the Houston Rockets here. And looks like the Raptors are going to take this one. Actually, the Rockets had a little bit of fight and just came back from a 3-1 deficit with Zion getting himself another Finals MVP in this sim. That was kind of crazy to see. And as you can see, Giannis and Kyrie making the Hall of Fame right there, bringing us into year 14 of the sim. Definitely looking good for the squad here. Still got Bill Russell and Luka Doncic. And really racking up them accolades Bill Russell is at this point. So let's just see how this year 14 plays out. Robin Watkins ends up getting a regular season MVP here with the Hornets. I'm assuming that's just a creative guy at this point in the sim. We get the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference here with the Boston Celtics. Huge season from Luka and Bill Russell. Just getting after it defensively and on the boards as well. Still putting up over 16 points per game, but nothing too crazy. First round matchup here up against the Atlanta Hawks. Jalen Green, Brandon Ingram. Definitely not a bad team to say the very least. And they even have Jason Tatum as their 6th man. Obviously former Celtic. But we are able to take them out 4-1. Knock them out in 5. Big game there from Luka Doncic. And obviously a double-double there from Bill Russell as well to help us get it done. Second round, we meet up against the Charlotte Hornets team that did bounce us out last year with the MVP Robin Watkins up at their point guard position. And it changed a lot this year as we bounced them 4-0. You love to see it. Moving us on to the Eastern Conference Finals here up against a tough Magic team who is taking it to 7 with us. So, of course, we will hop into Simcast and see just how this one plays out. Looks like we have a little bit of a lead here early on, and heading into the 4th, we still have a little bit of a solid lead. Ultimately pulling out 129-117, pretty much having the lead the entire game, and never really taking the foot too much off the gas pedal. Bringing us back to the NBA Finals for the first time in a while, meeting up against Mikey Williams and Anthony Edwards, obviously former teammates. We get up 2-0, 3-0, and it is looking good. Of course, hop into Simcast and make sure we don't choke this one out. And it looks like they are going to get a game right here, making it a 3-1 series. Hopping into Simcast yet again. And in this one, we are just blowing them out 150-108 with only 12 seconds left in this one. So all hope is obviously out the window. It is going to be an easy dub for the Boston Celtics here, taking the series home in 5 games, 4-1, and getting Bill Russell yet his 3rd chip of this sim. And you love to see it, honestly. You love to see it. Let's see if Bill Russell ends up getting Finals MVP here with the Celtics, or if it is actually Luka Doncic himself. Let's check it out. And just taking a glimpse at that game, huge games there from both Luka and Bill Russell. So who knows, this could be anyone's Finals MVP award here. And it ends up going to Luka, who did average 35 points throughout the Finals right there. Well deserved as well, moving us into year 15 of the sim here. Bill Russell still hanging in there, 99 overall. James Wiseman getting regular season MVP here with 30.9 points per game and 17.1 rebounds per game as well. Boston Celtics, yet again, the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Coming down a little bit scoring is Luka at this point, but it is what it is. We're still getting those dubs, so that's really all that matters. First round matchup here up against that Hornets team that did give us a little trouble 2 years ago. And it looks like they gave us trouble again with Jalen Green actually getting buckets on us and eliminating us. So watching the finals from the sidelines yet again. Philadelphia 76 up against the Utah Jazz here. Should be an interesting series to watch, honestly. 3-2 Jazz, 3-3 Sixers, and ultimately the Jazz clutch up and pull it out right there. Chris Livingston getting himself a Finals MVP, 4-3. Moving us into year 16 of this long career of Bill Russell, still at a 99 overall. Luka starting to hit that regression a lot, now at a 92 overall beside Bill Russell. Let's see if we can get one more championship out of this duo before it's all over here. So let's see. Looking at the standings and everything from this season, we dropped to about the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference. Not necessarily what you love to see. Luka coming down to below 20 points per game for the first time in a while. Bill Russell putting up 17.6 points per game and almost 15 rebounds per game as well. Still getting it done at an elite level on the glass. First round matchup here up against the Milwaukee Bucks with Kobe White and Evan Mobley. pushing it to Game 7 with us here in the first round. We're going to hop into Simcast and see just how this one plays out. Hopefully, keep your fingers crossed that we can make it into the second round here. So let's see how this one ends up playing out. And it looks like we're down pretty early in this, kind of back and forth. It looks like the Bucks are starting to pull away, unfortunately, from us here. And we end up losing this one by about 8 points, 134 to 128. Not something you would like to see. 6-point L. It is what it is. Heat in the championship here up against the Denver Nuggets, who do have Jalen Johnson running their point guard position. So I would assume that the Nuggets will be taking this one in all honesty. 5 games right there. Jalen Johnson, Finals MVP. Nuggets take it. Moving us into year 17. Bill Russell is no longer with the Celtics either. He has moved on to the Magic. Back down to a 98 overall. So it's looking like he's starting to hit that regression wall. So probably only 2 or 3 more years left in him in general. He signed a 1-year deal here with the Magic to play with LaMelo Ball. That should be an interesting duo, honestly. Mikey Williams gets a regular season MVP, and we finish the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference behind only the Philadelphia 76ers. LaMelo putting up over 26 points per game throughout the season here. And Bill Russell, of course, doing his thing, but his numbers are starting to come down just a bit. Definitely would be interesting to see that combo work out in real life. Magic end up taking the games over the Cleveland Cavaliers and Cade Cunningham here in the first round, 4-2. Moving us on to a second round matchup up against our former team, the Chicago Bulls, who end up routing us in 5 and ultimately winning the championship here, moving us into year 18 of the sim. And what's going on year 18? Is Bill Russell still hanging with the Magic or not? Let's check that out. He is actually going to the Milwaukee Bucks now. Let's see what this Bucks squad is looking like and how long he kind of re-upped to go to the Bucks for. So, front office, Bill Russell, 97 overall, 287, so nothing crazy. We have a 2-year contract, it looks like, here, or 1 year guaranteed, and then like an option. Mikey Williams getting himself a regular season MVP here. And do we make the playoffs with the Bucks? We do squeeze in there with the number 7 seed. Looking at the player stats, Bill Russell definitely coming down and down and down. Now to 97 overall. First round matchup up against the Philadelphia 76ers. Not that great of a team in my opinion, but we'll see just how this actually turns out. Of course, they are a higher seed than us. We push it to 7 with us, with them, but it's not looking great in this simcast so far, as they have a big lead on us here. They end up beating us 143 to 118. Tough scene watching it from the sidelines. And that Sixers team that I kind of was counting out actually makes it to the finals here up against the Portland Trailblazers, who do have Bronny as well at their small forward position. So let's see how this one goes. I haven't seen too much of Bronny in this sim in all honesty. So Philadelphia 76ers battling back and forth with them, ultimately taking it and winning the championship there 4-2. Is Bill Russell back with the Bucks here? He is not. So he did not opt into that option clearly. Let's see where Bill Russell has ended up here. He is back with the Magic on a 1-year, $51 million deal. So apparently the Magic really wanted him back at this point. So let's just see how this squad's looking like. And Bill Russell is walking into a team that's really not that great with 284s as the next best players. So it's going to be all him yet again. Mikey Williams getting a regular season MVP here. And do we make the playoffs? We definitely do not, only racking up about 20-something wins. Not a great season. Bill Russell, number 2 in scoring at this point, 17.3 points per game. Watching from the sidelines yet again, that same Philadelphia 76ers team up against the Lakers here. And let's see how this one plays out. So the Lakers up 2-0. The Sixers start getting a little bit of steam going. But will it be enough? It will not. Lakers take it 4-2 right there. Chris Livingston getting Finals MVP. Now in year 19 of the sim, where is Bill Russell now? He has went back with the Bulls actually, so kind of bounced around, but back and forth to several teams that he was already on later in his career. So let's check out this Bulls team. 92 overall, Bill Russell, 85, 84, 82, 82. Definitely not a team I see really making the playoffs. Mikey Williams there getting yet another regular season MVP. Checking out the standings, we definitely did not make playoffs. And the stats from the season here, Bill Russell, 14.4 points per game, 12.5 rebounds per game, still 1.7 blocks per game, really well, honestly. Timberwolves versus the Sixers yet again. This Sixers team has been cooking ever since I said something about them, but both in the finals here. Let's see how this one plays out. Sixers got off to an early lead, but the T-Wolves are not playing no games, back and forth. Sixers end up taking it. Year 2040 now, and Bill Russell finally decides to hang it up at a 92 overall here. I think it's definitely time. Hall of Fame inductees, of course, Bill Russell does make it right there. If you guys made it this far throughout the video, as always, comment GOAT, G-O-A-T, in all capitals below, so I know you are a true Bean Squad supporter. And if you do make it this far, you know I really do support you guys. You are the truest supporters of the channel. We're just going to go through and kind of show where everything ended up. As always, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Peace. Thank you so much for watching. Bean out.